Hi and welcome to the Monday Live. Half term at the moment, but we are going strong through the week. I've got a couple of events coming up, so I'm shifting my holiday to then, as it were. Isle of Wight, and then which is the end of this month, and then Tenerife in March, the end of March. So plenty going on, but for the most part just running straight through. So we've got the Monday here, Wednesday teams, and the Friday live as well. Friday we're still on doubled contracts. We'll extend that probably just 2 or 3 weeks with some example hands, etc., and then we will look to do a new topic. If you've got any ideas for new topics you'd like to be covered on the Friday, please do say. Always open to doing more. But yes, we've probably extended this quite a long way, the doubled contracts. But we'll have a go at that. We've got our usual suspects today. We've got our 5-level decision, which is from one of the teams events we had. It's nice to have them from live events, I must admit. Then we've got a bidding quiz, of course, at the end. We are discussing reverse bidding. And I think today we'll look at a couple of things I did touch upon in the big seminar, which of course is bidding slams, where you trust a reverse bid. That definitely needs a level of trust. And also the responders reverse and how that might or might not affect the way we bid. In terms of the events and various things going on, well, as I say, I'm going to Tenerife at the end of March. That's sold out, but we've got a variety of things on. We've got a Croatia event, something that we've done for a long time, and you can actually do 7 nights and 14 nights there. So you'll see that that's advertised as a 14 night. I'm surprised it doesn't have 7 night available on there, but we'll get that on there. So essentially you can have 7 nights. It's a lovely time to go to Croatia. Then you've also got the Portugal, which I did last year. Really enjoyed that. A little bit of complications last year in the sense that things were changing for us. And then there's also Greece as well, our 5-star event in Greece, which is quite exciting in October. It's been an interesting year for us in terms of the holidays board and getting used to it. We will get it right, so we are going to be quite excited for 2027 as well. So we'll start the launching those events, and we will tell you when that happens, and hopefully you'll be excited with us, because we will be developing and doing things in a slightly different way, which will hopefully give the flexibility to you as well. We've obviously got all the cruises, Fred Olsen doing very nicely, so do look out for that. It's difficult to book cruises late this year because they're selling well. So if you do want to go on the cruises, I don't know how many we've got on the list here. Let me just have a look. It'll probably be, let me just quickly scroll through. There's a few. In fact, I think the ones there are 2027, but I'm talking 2026. If you do want to go in 2026, look it up now, because they are selling very well. But we've obviously launched 2027. That's what life is like in the fast lane. But I have to say, cruises are a lovely thing to do, where you just get the option of the evening game. Of course, you don't have to play every time. On days at sea, you have a full program of bridge, but usually on a lot of the normal days, you just have the evening bridge. You enjoy a place to walk around, explore, go on tours, and then can relax with an after dinner bridge session of varying length, as it were. Okay, so the 5-level decision, let's go to that. So this one, as I say, was from a team's event. Some of you on Friday would have seen it. You're vulnerable against vulnerable here. And you're looking at a 12 count, 5-4 in the majors. I mean, you could choose a no trump opening bid here, based around the fact that you probably won't be able to show your spades, but I think with 5-4 in the majors you are better off just making a natural opening bid. So that is what you do, and things get a bit more excited after that. It goes 4 diamonds, which is a splinter bid, and then 5 diamonds. Okay, so 1 heart pass, 4 diamonds, a splinter bid, 5 diamonds, and it's your bid. Okay, and this type of bid is really important. Okay, really important. So getting this right is important. Okay, so let's go for our seminar, I think. So I'll leave you with that one. What we do is we revisit that after our seminar. So have a think about it. Yeah, as I said, a really important type of hand, that one. It was from the teams about 3 weeks ago. I have rotated it so that we can have it the way I like to show it. Okay, let me just get back to the seminar there. I've been pressing the button a lot, so I come over here. So reverses, a quick reminder of what a reverse is, and then we will look at a different part of the topic. So a reverse bid is a rebid in a new suit at the 2 level above your first bid suit. Okay, a reverse bid is a rebid in a new suit at the 2 level above your first bid suit. Okay, partner might be weak and you could be forcing them to the 3 level. Okay, and that's the key here. So you open 1 heart, partner bids something, 1 no trump, maybe you bid 2 spades, you've bid above your first bid suit. The weakest bid your partner always has is going back to your first bid suit. And therefore, if you've reversed, you've bid above your first bid suit at the 2 level, which means to go back to your suit, he has to bid to the 3 level. You are committing. If he's only got 6 points, you're committing to a big contract. Okay, so we like to have 16 or more points. We mentioned last week, and obviously in the big seminar, which the members can see, that sometimes if partners responded at the 2 level, we might stretch a reverse to 15 so that we can force the auction. Because the key is, a reverse bid is a forcing bid. By bidding above your first suit at the 2 level, you're forcing. And we're going to see that a responder can reverse as well. So there will be the idea of a responder's reverse that we're going to take a little look at today. Okay, and then of course opener has to bid again. Okay, so responding to a reverse bid, we looked at this last week, and we said that the point is that you've got to understand that with just 8 or 9 points, game is likely. Your partner's shown a good 16 or better. You have to respond, of course, and always remember, it almost always in bridge, going back to your own suit at the lowest level is your weakest bid, or supporting partner's first bid suit, and that's key. What you're doing when you go back to partner's first bid suit is you're not even particularly showing support. You're just saying, partner, look, you forced me to bid. I'm bidding this. So sometimes you'll be bidding it on a double and giving preference to his suit, and you're just trying to slow him down. Okay. You can rebid your own suit, but if you rebid your own suit, you're saying, partner, I'm pretty sure, looking at my hand, this is the best suit. I know you've bid 2 suits, partner, but I'm pretty sure this is the best suit. So it'll be 6, and it'll be 6 good ones, not queen small, 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 as it were. I mean queen jack 10 to 6. A good bit of solidity there. Okay, and of course you can bid no trumps and things like that in these auctions, because of course we've got 3 suits bid often in these auctions. Okay, so what I wanted to look at, as I said, we looked at that last week. What I really wanted to look at today was the idea that if you trust each other, you can use the reverse bids to move towards a slam bid, and that's important. So if you trust each other, okay, so it is standard bidding, reverse bidding. Okay, almost all systems do. There's the odd person who might teach, oh no, I don't want to play those, but they're undermining the general norm of bridge. So if you make a reverse bid, you should be showing a strong hand, and your partner should be able to rely on that. So if I've got 15 or 16 points and you make a reverse bid, I'm starting to get excited. Okay, and if I've got a fit, of course, with your second suit particularly, and you make a reverse bid, I'll be thinking, okay, I've got a singleton as well. Maybe I've got 12 points and a singleton, and you've got 16. Can you see what I mean? Again, we'll be excited. So if we can trust each other, we may well be able to use these bids to go higher. So this is the one from the big seminar. I've got a couple of others as well that we can look at. 1 diamond from your partner. No reason to get excited yet. Okay, clearly 16 points, you know you're in game, but you don't have to tell partner that straight away. You can just bid a spade here because partner has promised to make another bid. If you change suit, partner will always make another bid for you. So there you go. And partner has bid 2 hearts here. Partner has bid above 2 of his first suits. So he's opened 1 diamond. He's now chosen to rebid 2 hearts. Remember, if he only had 12 points, he should be rebidding 2 diamonds here, or below 2 diamonds. So if he's got 12 points and 5 diamonds and 4 hearts, he's not allowed to show those hearts. Of course, we've missed out hearts, so the chances of us having a heart bid are not high unless we've got a little bit of extra strength. So it goes a diamond, a spade, 2 hearts. At this point, as East, as the partner, I am very excited about the potential of a slam. Are you happy with that idea? So I'm placing partner with a good 16. Now, I haven't got a fit in either of the suits particularly, but I have got a very, very valuable card here. I have ace, king, in the 2 unbid suits of my partner, as it were, and I've got the Queen of Diamonds, and that is a gorgeous card. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, partner will have at least 5 diamonds. He should have a good 16, and often a good 16 is based about having a good long suit. So if partner's got 5 or 6 diamonds and they're decent, that queen is going to make them better. So if he's got a king jack 10 to 6 or something like that, king jack 10 to 5, that queen makes it solid. Ace king jack to 5. Okay, so for me, if he's got a good 16 and you've got 16, everything is pointing to a slam here. So we'll start by making a forcing bid, but let's just discuss that. Okay, so 16 star means a good 16 or better. We've got 16, so 32 points or better. And for me, the Queen of Diamonds is the key card here, because that is not going to surprise me that we're not misfitting as much as it might look. If you move the Queen of Diamonds into the Queen of Clubs, it's a much closer call now, because if you've got a doubleton diamond, partner's going to have to work to establish that. You've got 3 hearts, opposite maybe 4 in his hand. You're going to have to work in both suits to establish them. You're misfitting a bit here. I think that Queen of Diamonds is everything. So I'm aiming for 6 no trumps. Of course, partner might have a wild hand. I mean, if partner wants to be diamonds again here or something like that, you know, we could maybe end up even higher. But here I'm going to bid the 4th suit forcing just to see what partner bids. Partner's got a nice 17 count. He'll probably bid 3 no trumps with his queen to 3. He could rebid 3 diamonds here. I have to say, I think I'm at this point, unless partner does something very exotic, like I suppose you could jump to 4 diamonds with a 6 diamonds and another ace or something. Okay. I think is 2 no trumps forcing. I like 2 no trumps to be forcing in this hand, but I wouldn't want to test it here. I think the easiest thing is to bid 3 clubs here and to see the kind of hand partner has. I'm generally just going to settle for 6 no trumps in this auction, but if partner finds an exotic bid of, you know, partner could be a wild hand, might be 6-5 or something like that, I don't know, in which case you might end up going higher. But here, when partner rebids 3 no trumps, which is borderline, because queen to 3 is not the perfect stopper in clubs, but I would bid 6 no trumps there. Okay, and it's a relatively straightforward 33 points you've got here, but it can be difficult to define. It's so easy if you've got 20 opposite 13, it goes 2 no trumps, 6 no trumps, a nice easy auction. When you got 16 opposite 17, it can be tricky. So knowing and trusting that a reverse bid is showing a strong hand makes bidding the slam so much easier here. Okay, and as you can see, that Queen of Diamonds is indeed the gorgeous card and makes the slam, you would have thought, very straightforward. You've got 12 tricks there. I mean, I'm sure there'll be lots of squeeze chances, etc. for extras, but I think we'll settle for 6 no trumps there. Okay, let's look at this one and see how this one goes. So it's a West to open the bidding. I'm showing both hands so you can see them, but we'll work through it together. So this is one that I've put in new. So diamond from West, and again here diamond, West is thinking I've got 17 points and I want you to do this when you open the bidding here. I'm opening a diamond, I'm going to rebid 2 hearts. Now clearly when partner bids a spade, which he will, I could sort of think, oh go on, I'll try no trumps, etc. But for me this hand looks like it wants to play in a suit contract. So I think reversing to 2 hearts is a beautiful descriptive bid. It says, partner, I'm strong. I feel my hand looks like it wants to play in a suit contract. Does that make sense? Okay, so how do you feel about the East hand now? Well, the East hand here, those of you who count losers, remember we've got a fit in hearts now. It has a 6 loser hand, but it's opposite a very good opening. So it's not a 12 count, it's a 16 count. So a good 16, of course. So for me, I'm pretty excited. Those of you who count the point count system, 10 high card points plus a singleton. And not only is it a singleton, it's a singleton in the unbid suit here. Okay, so if partner's weak in clubs, your singleton is gorgeous. So for me, I'm thinking slam. Here, with a good 6 card suit, I think you should be thinking 13 or 14 points. Your partner's a good 16 or better, and you've got a fit. And remember, when you've got a fit, you're looking for 30 or more total points. And I think you are there on this hand. And as Ruben has suggested there, 4 clubs is a great bid. Okay, 4 clubs here, if you're happy with splinters, is agreeing hearts and saying, partner, I fit well with you. If you fit well with my singleton in clubs, why don't we go for it? Now, what do I mean by fitting well with a singleton? Well, if your partner had the king queen of clubs opposite your singleton, take them out of the diamond suit, for example, and give him ace jack 10 to 5 diamonds or something, king queen of clubs, he's not going to feel very happy. He'll be thinking, oh no, a singleton opposite a king queen is a waste. I wish we'd finished in 3 no trumps or something. No, well, we'd be in 4 hearts. But the key is, it all depends on the holding that West has opposite that singleton. And of course, West has a horrible club holding, but opposite a singleton, it is perfect. And West is thinking, well, if partner can get excited, I've got all of the strength in diamonds and hearts here. So essentially, I think I'm gonna go for slam. So over 4 clubs, 4 more chunks. But I'll come back to that question in a moment. So here, West fits so perfectly. And remember, he knows that East has evaluated his hand to say, I think we can be in slam. I've got my 17, or a bit more than a good 16, but throw the jack of clubs, I've got my 16, and partner has said that he's got the strength to go with it. So of course, I'd expect him to have, he's got nothing in diamonds and nothing in clubs, remember. So he's got to have about 10 points between hearts and spades. Okay, so all I need to do is check that he has 2 key cards. Of course, don't forget, Blackwood is going to tell me whether he's got that king of hearts. Does that make sense? So when I bid Blackwood, he shows 2 key cards, the ace of spades, or an ace, and the king of trumps. And that's, of course, enough for me to bid 6 hearts there. So that's it's a wonderful slam, isn't it? I mean, as long as the hearts break 3-2, you're very comfortable there, and it's very neat again. And the key here is the reverse bid, making it easy for you. Okay, hopefully, if you trust each other. I think 3 hearts. Brian is asking a question in this auction: 1 diamond, 1 spade, 2 hearts, 3 hearts. Is that forcing? Generally, if you find a fit when you're reversing, you're generally going to want to be in gamey, even if partner has 6 counts. So I think it's probably best. It's practical, Brian, to play that as forcing. In a tried partnership, I think it is practical to have 3 hearts as a forcing bid in this auction. But the problem is that is in a tried partnership. You'd want to discuss it. But it's really important, because in auctions like this, if you know that 3 hearts is forcing as your 4th bid there, then 4 hearts becomes weaker. Does that make sense? And that's really important. So I think that's one to be discussed, Brian. It's a good one to discuss if you're in a regular partnership, you know, because it does make a lot of difference. Because if East here has ace king to 5, king to 4, doubleton, but let's give it an extra point in there. So let's say ace king queen to 5, king to 4, doubleton. East is going to be thinking there could be a slam on, but isn't going to necessarily know what to bid. There is generally the chance of bidding the 4 suit forcing, and bearing that in mind, you might do. What about 4 no trumps over the 2 heart bid? You'd prefer the stronger bid to do it, Anne. So Anne's asking, could we just go straight to 4 no trumps? You could do. I mean, in theory, partner could be sitting there with queen jack to 5 diamonds and ace king queen of clubs. So you'd prefer to, I know that your partner's opened a diamond, but that doesn't promise the ace king queen jack, as it were. So let's say you'd been dealt queen jack 10 to 5 in diamonds, ace queen to 4 and ace king queen of clubs. Okay, that's a bit stronger than I want it to be, but you know what I mean. The point is that we might not have control in diamonds. So I'd prefer to neatly describe, if you're happy with splinters, if you don't play splinters, and maybe 4 no trumps is the practical bid for you. Okay, if you're happy with splinters, 4 clubs, it describes your hand perfectly and puts West in charge. And that's the key. And West, of course, in a better place. Okay. All right. We're just going to have a little look at the responders reverse here. And it's just that there's similar themes, and that's why I included it at the end of the big seminar. So like the opening bid, a responder can choose to make a rebid in a higher suit. So if I force the bidding, if you make a simple rebid, and it's almost always when the opener rebids his suit. So if opener starts 1 heart and then rebids 2 hearts, it can be difficult for us to force the auction where we want to go. So what we're allowed to do as the responder is to rebid in a new suit. And very often that's what we call a responder's reverse. So what we're saying is that if the responder bids a second suit above opener's first suit, i.e. introduces a new suit, he is saying, partner, I've got a nice hand, can you bid again? It's not completely forcing to game unless it's at the 3 level. If it's a new suit at the 3 level, rather like we've seen with opener. If you remember in the big seminar, we said if we rebid a new suit at the 3 level, it's forcing to game. And the reason for that is if we think no trumps is right, we're forced to bid 3 no trumps. So it's the same with a responder's reverse. If a responder introduces a new suit at the 3 level, we again are then forced to game. But a new suit at the 2 level is just saying, partner, I've got about 11 points. I've got enough to push us 1 more bid. So let's see where we're going. Okay, so it usually only occurs when opener has made a simple rebid. And the reason why we say that is because, of course, if openers bid 2 suits and you've bid 1, the last suit, the 4th suit, we tend to use as 4 suit forcing. So it is a strong bid, but of course it's not necessarily a natural bid. Okay, whereas here we're talking about a natural bid. And what I want you to do, rather like opening bidder, as the responder, I want you to make that plan. Decide how many bids you can make. When you've got 6 points in response to an opening bid, you're thinking 1 bid's enough. Okay, but of course if you've got a decent hand, so let's see, your partner opens a diamond here, you're looking at 13 points, you know you've got enough to make 2 bids. So my plan here is to respond a heart, and if partner bids 2 diamonds, I'm then going to bid 2 spades. Does that make sense? Okay, so I bid a heart, partner bids 2 diamonds, and then I can bid 2 spades, and that is a forcing bid because it's above my suit. It's forcing the auction higher. I need partner to make another bid. Okay, I'm not necessarily looking for a fit in spades necessarily because I think partner would have bid a spade here, but I'm forcing the auction 1 more. Okay, so as soon as you do that, you are saying, partner, I've got enough, I'm discussing. And of course, one of the things I'm hoping is that partner's got a club stopper. And if he has, he'll be able to bid no trumps. But it is a natural bid, remember. It's a natural and forcing bid. So here is the hand. And as you can see, the opener has just a normal 1 diamond bid, then 2 diamond bids. Okay, the minimum for the responder's reverse is 11 plus. Okay, so in theory you could make a 2 spade bid here. Again, it should be a good 11. With 10, you're always on that board. I mean, again, it's a lot of it can be about texture of the suits. Here, your partner finds a 2 no trump. We bid now because clearly he's described his diamonds to us. 2 no trump says I've got clubs covered, and I think obviously with 13 points here we would then be in a position to bid 3 no trumps. 2 no trumps is non-forcing, so if I had my 11 points here, then we might just settle in 2 no trumps. Okay. Here, as long as the diamonds break evenly, you can very quickly establish the diamond suit, and you wouldn't be ducking clubs if they led clubs, of course, the unbid suit, because you need the entries to dummy. So if you ducked a club and then won the second one, you wouldn't be able to get to dummy because you wouldn't have a club. So you'd need to win the first club, knock out the ace of diamonds, and then you've still got your entry back, and hopefully that way you might make 10 tricks. Okay, so that's a simple example of a responder's reverse. Understanding the responder's reverse, is very important with regard to natural responding. And I just wanted to show you that to finish the topic. We will have another Monday, as it were, this month, but that hopefully will be example hands. I love you to send in your examples, so please do send those in if you've got them. Okay, so this is important with regard to how we respond to an opening bid. Okay, so we're going to have East opening this time, if that's all right. East is going to be the opening bidder. I'm showing you both hands. And of course, a lot of people here, so East opens a heart, completely natural. Again, with 5-4 in the majors, I prefer to open a major. Now, East knows that he will not be able to show his spades at his second bid, and that's important. Okay. Someone's asking about the last hand. I'll have to look at that in a second. Okay, essentially, I'll stick with that. So the question on the last hand is, when responder makes a reverse, what do you bid if you haven't got a stopper in the unbid suit? Well, there's 2 things you can do, and one of them is if you've got a decent hand. So I'll tell you what, we'll just go back there. Here you can, of course, we bid 3 diamonds. If you didn't, maybe if I give you, I don't know, a couple of high cards in doubletons in the majors there, you could bid 3 diamonds. If I give you a slightly better hand, maybe with 14 points, clearly you're going to go for game now. Remember, you have the 4th suit forcing. So if you don't have a stopper in clubs, you could bid 3 clubs in this auction. Partner, I'm strong. I know we're in game because you've done a responder to reverse, but I haven't got the club stopper. Have you? Okay. So you've got all sorts of things. Remember, you've got to make a bid. And if worse comes to worse, you can always go back to partner's first bid suit, hearts. Remember, that tends to be one of the weaker options. So if you had, I don't know, King, Queen, Doubleton in hearts here, and just the Jack of clubs and the Jack of spades, you'd probably, having bid diamonds twice, you might choose just to rebid 3 hearts. And with King, Queen, Doubleton, who knows, that might be the best suit. Okay, so it goes 1 heart here. Now, what are you responding to that? Because this is really important. Because clearly on this hand, a 1 spade response is going to make things really easy. However, I am going to follow up with another hand in a moment. If you have the strength to make 2 bids as responder, then bid naturally. You have a lovely hand as West, and you can make a very simple plan, can't you here? You can say, well, I'm going to rebid 2 diamonds, and most of the time I know partner's going to bid 2 hearts here because he might not be strong, and if he's not strong, I've got enough strength to follow up with a 2 spade bid. And what that means is partner now knows that I've got longer diamonds than spades and will be in a good position to choose the best contract. Okay, now here, as you're going to see, we're going to find a spade fit. We're going to finish in 4 spades. But the point is you might not. And the hand after this, no surprise, we're not going to finish in spades. So my plan is simple. Take away the ace of spades here with 8 points, okay, and make it 4 to the king. We would respond 1 spade because we haven't got enough to bid at the 2 level. Here, though, I have enough strength to make 2 bids. So I start with 2 diamonds. East rebids 2 hearts. Okay, because he can't rebid two spades here. Two spades would be showing a reverse bid. And if he rebids two spades, West is going for slam, or thinking about slam. Does that make sense? Okay, because if if the opening bidder here, East, rebids two spades, we're placing him with 16. And if you throw the ace of diamonds in the East hand instead of the jack, at that point, slam may well be on. Here it'll be only 15, but or add the ace instead of the 9 of diamonds, make it the ace of diamonds, and as you'll see, 6 spades is a good contract. Instead, of course, it goes just 2 hearts. But West has made a plan here. West has already planned that he has enough strength to bid 2 diamonds followed by 2 spades. So the stronger you are, the more naturally we try to bid our hand. We bid our longest suit first, and when we bid 2 spades, we're forcing the auction. Now here's an interesting one here. Again, do you feel again here 3 spades is forcing? I don't think it is. I think 3 spades here, it's slightly different here. I mean, East can have a lot of weaker hands, maybe with 5-4. So, but again, as Brian was asking, it's for your discussion. If you feel that 3 spades is a forcing bid here, then you would want to jump to 4 spades. Okay, I think it's subtly different here, but it feels very similar to the previous one. And if you like to have themes running through your auctions, it's a tricky. So here 3 spades, assuming that's invitational, is just showing minimum support. We end up in 4 spades because obviously we've got a lovely hand. Okay, and the reason I'm showing this one is because I want to show you the next hand where we don't find a spade fit, but we need to find our best fit. If you bid spades first and follow up with diamonds, you're going to end up in a messy situation. Let me show you what I mean. So here you are, here's your hand. Exactly the same West hand, obviously, okay. And looking at the 2 hands, it's obvious what you want to finish in. You want to actually finish in 5 diamonds, okay? And 5 diamonds is a lovely contract. But how are you going to finish in 5 diamonds if you start by responding 1 spade? It's going to be very difficult for your partner to believe that your best contract is in a suit that we don't introduce for a long time. Okay. Instead, it's going to go 1 heart, 2 diamonds. Natural. Partner, I've got a nice hand. We rebid 2 hearts, showing our hearts. And of course, responder now makes a responder's reverse. Partner, I've got a strong hand. Okay. East isn't particularly excited, but he bids 3 diamonds. Okay, notice Myra had a question about when we don't have a stopper. In theory, East could bid 3 clubs here to say, partner, have you got a stopper here? But better in this auction is 3 diamonds because you've got genuine diamond support. If perhaps I don't know, you had a doubleton spade here and just a doubleton diamond, ace jack of diamonds, now you might think, I've got 13, look, I'll bid 3 clubs to see if partner's got a stopper, because you haven't got genuine diamond support. But here you clearly have 3 diamonds, when 3 card support and a singleton is nice support for diamonds. Okay, now West is thinking, okay, partner's clearly, you know, is unlikely got a club stopper here to probably bid it. Now I am going to go for game or invite. It's really tricky with the minors. We've seen this over the last couple of years when we've introduced minors involved. You've just got to remind yourself you need 28 or 29 points to make 5. I don't mind a 5 diamond bid with a West hand, but I think 4 diamonds is probably a better bid. And now, of course, East with genuine support and the double and the singleton, I think, can bid 5. Okay. I mean, obviously from East's point of view, in theory, you might have 3 club losers, but I think it's not unreasonable expecting partner to often have a doubleton club here. I think if it goes 1 heart, 1 spade, 2 hearts, it's really tricky now to get to 5 diamonds, because it's going to go 1 heart, 1 spade, 2 hearts, 3 diamonds. You've got to introduce diamonds now. What does East bid now? I think East ends up rebidding 3 hearts. You can't bid 4 diamonds because you're thinking partner will only have 4 diamonds. So you rebid 3 hearts. And now West is thinking, well, what do I bid now? Do I bid 4 hearts? Okay, you've just told a lot of lies about your hand. I mean, you might bid 4 diamonds, but if it turns out your partner's only got 2 of them, where are you going then? So if you've got a strong responding hand, 11 or more points, etc., try to bid your hand as naturally as possible. The expression that never skip out a 4-card major, what that expression comes from is never bid 1 no trump when you can bid a 4-card major. So never respond 1 no trump when you can show a 4-card major. That's what that expression is all about. So if you've got a weak hand with 6 to 9 points, always try to show a 4-card major at the 1 level. Okay, but if you've got 12 or 13 points, when you respond 2 diamonds, as on this hand, you are not denying 4 spades. You are just saying, look, I've got 10 or more points and diamonds. Partner, you make your rebid. Then, if I've got an even more exciting hand, I'll be able to reverse. So this responder's reverse. Partner, I've got a nice hand here. I know you were only able to rebid your suit with perhaps a slightly weaker hand. Well, don't worry, I can back up us going a bit higher. Okay, and as you can see here, the reason you can perhaps play in 5 diamonds is because you've got a singleton in both hands. You've still got work to do during the play. Make sure you play it carefully, but you should manage a comfortable 11 tricks there. Obviously the opponents need to take their 2 clubs off the top to make sure they take those as well. Okay, just a quick reminder there, of course, to finish off that topic. A reverse, so an opener's reverse, as it were. The classic reverse is when you rebid in a suit that is above 2 of your first bid suits. So if you open 1 club, I don't want you introducing a new suit above 2 clubs unless you have a good 16 or more. Okay, and if you trust each other, these reverses can work really well. Okay, if you find a fit, you can get to these slams, etc. It is important. I know it's always hard in untried partnerships. Okay, but I almost prefer to get to the slam and go off and discover partner's only got 11 points than not trusting my partner. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that. Please, as I say, please do send in your hands, because this kind of topic comes up quite a lot. I've had a few sent in because I like to use a few of those, and particularly next week and the week after, to have a look at some of them. And we got plenty in the teams as well, so I will find a few, but send them in. And of course, send them in on any topic, whether we're doing the topic or not. I like to respond to you. I'm always here, as it were. Okay, let's have a look at that 5-level decision. And unfortunately, it wasn't got right at the table in the other one. Okay, so here a number of you did say exactly what you should be thinking here, and that is really important. It is what's called a forcing pass situation. Your partner has said that we can make, so 4 diamonds is a splinter bid. It says, partner, we can make a game. What do you think about the chances of slam? And what that means is that when your opponents outbid you, and you didn't expect 5 diamonds in the month of Sundays, but it's happened, and it happened at both tables in the team. When that bid is made, it's really important that you understand that your team is not passing 5 diamonds out. So if you pass, your partner has a choice of 2 bids, double or bid. Make any bid, but he cannot pass. Your partner is not allowed to pass. So what that means is your bids have a meaning. If you bid to 5 hearts, you're thinking, well, we should always be in 5 hearts, partner. If you double, you're suggesting, partner, to be honest, looking at my hand, I think we should double this contract. If you pass, you're saying to partner, actually, I've got a bit of something here, partner. And usually you're showing extra distribution or something like that. Now, I know you're 5-4-2-2, but really the double doubleton is not a pleasing holding. Not only that, your king of diamonds, I mean, what do you think North's got? North is vulnerable against vulnerable. So I think North has got 8 diamonds. almost always 8 or 9, but at least 8, because he's missing the king. I suppose he could have maybe had solid ace, king, queen, jack to 7, but we can see he's missing the king and 10, so I'm placing him with ace, queen, jack to 8 diamonds. My king is completely useless playing in 5 hearts, because partner's not going to have a useful discard, is he? Okay, so for me, I'm making a trick against 5 diamonds, but not in 5 hearts, as it were. So what do I mean by that? Well, a partner's not likely to need the discard. That's what I mean. Yes, it'll make a trick, but it's not going to be a useful trick. And I'm flat. So for me, looking at my hand, I think playing in 5 diamonds doubled is the right thing. And that's what double means. Doesn't mean partner can't bid again. Partner could be looking at a void diamond and thinking, well, look, I still think a slam might be on. But it's so important that you double it. I mean, if I open up the hands, because at the table, East passed. And for me, East's pass would suggest partner. Well, think again. We might be able to. And it's really important here, because assuming the 5 diamond bidders of some reason here, it was only on a 7 card suit. Okay, so it's a bold bid. Okay, a bold bid. I think at the table I was playing, it went 1 heart past 4 hearts actually, and I actually had the south hand, sorry, the north hand. North was south at my table, and I bid 5 diamonds with it, and it got undoubled, and 5 diamonds undoubled, because of course, can you see the difference between the auction 1 heart past 4 hearts? That is a distributional hand, so we don't know. I like the 4 diamond, but with the 5th heart, it's borderline, but with the 5th heart and a couple of 10s, I like the splinter bid from West. And of course, that sets up a forcing auction. It's so important that East doubles that, okay? Because that stops West from bidding. Now, I'm not saying it's right for West to bid 5 hearts if you pass, but you are suggesting that that is a valid option. So imagine you didn't have the king of diamonds, and instead of that, maybe you had the ace of hearts. Okay, so you had a small doubleton diamond and the ace of hearts. I think now you are unsure what to do. You are 5-4-2-2, but you've got your high cards in the right places. Maybe 5 hearts is correct. So you might choose to pass, and your partner may well bid on to 5 hearts. And can you see that if I put the ace of hearts in the east hand instead of the king of diamonds, we would only lose 1 diamond and 1 heart. Okay, the problem is we've got nothing in hearts. We've got, as I say, in inverted commas, a wasted king of diamonds. Can you see, if you look at the hand, can you see what I mean by a wasted king of diamonds? You are going to make that king of diamonds, but if I threw the king of diamonds away, I think you make exactly the same number of tricks. So the idea being the king of diamonds gives you no useful discard. You're making the ace, king, queen of clubs and the ace, king, queen of spades anyway. So I think if you pass, I think it's reasonable for West to bid 5 hearts. And if you have the right type of hand for passing, then you'll get to the right level. Here though, because of that king of diamonds and no singleton, double looks right, and now West trusts you. 5 diamonds doubled, went, I think, 2 off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, you lose 4 tricks as long as you take a club trick. Clearly, if you don't lead a club, I think probably what happened was the king of spades was led first. You took a couple of spades and a couple of clubs, and 1 club. Remember, if you don't take your club, it gets discarded on the hearts. So if you get a heart lead, 5 diamonds would only go 1 off. But 5 diamonds doubled will get you 500. Interestingly, a good sacrifice. On this particular hand, it's a good sacrifice because 500 is better than allowing the opponents to make 620. Of course, they can't make 650. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that one. As I say, that was from live play. Let's finish off. I'm overrunning a bit, so let's finish off with the bidding quiz. There you go. Okay, so don't forget, you can see the answer for this on the website. You open a heart with this hand, it goes pass, a spade, and then 2 diamonds. Okay, so you've chosen to open a heart. I think that's reasonable. I hope you're non-vulnerable. You've got 11 and a 6 card suit. It goes pass, 1 spade, And then there's a strange 2 diamond bid, and of course we're on that theme as some of these bidding quizzes go. So we've been having this interference bid from South on a number of the hands. So see what you think about that particular hand. Don't forget, look it up on the website whether you're a member or not, and do see how you get on. If you're not a member, give us a go. Come and join us, and see what you can see. You can do it free of charge for a time, and of course you get discounts off the UK holidays, etc., and some of the products. So for that, it's worth it alone. Okay, thanks for your company, and see some of you on Wednesday, some of you on Friday, and hopefully see all of you at some point soon. Bye bye.